gon' send him to heaven. Wait. Hey, woo.
Hi and welcome back to my channel. This is Lexsa with another video. So as some of you may know, I have been a pre-nursing major for about 2 years now, and this spring I was told that I am now in my school's nursing program. You know, when I'm telling you, I had no idea that I would get in. Like, you don't understand how nervous I was when I applied, because I was constantly told that I wasn't going to get in by, you know, my advisor, and that most likely I'll be on the waiting list, and all this negative, you know, energy towards me. But, you know, my friends were encouraging, people that were already in the nursing major let me know that, you know, things would be okay, and you see your girl's in, you see your girl is in one of the most competitive programs in all of my state, okay? So the first thing that I thought of when I got into this program is like, all right, now that I got my stuff together, let me tell these people exactly what to do so they can get into the program as well. So this is going to be more general, not necessarily for my school, but it's going to be from my perspective with that program. So before I get into this video, make sure that you like this video so other ladies can watch it, other gents, whatever, and that you subscribe to my channel, because this is probably your second video. But if it's your first, you know, just trust me, it only gets better from here. But I'm just gonna share about 5 tips just to make sure that you secure your nursing bag so you get into that program, graduate with your BSN, and it's lit. It's lit. So let me just start the video now. So as some of you may already know, there's a few elements that go into their decision for you to be in the nursing program. So the first element is your GPA. The second one is your science GPA, and the third one is your TEAS score. So let me pull up my GPA for you, and my science GPA, and my TEAS score. I'm actually about to bring you the facts. All right, so now I have my computer with me, so you guys are not being told any fake GPAs. I'm gonna be very transparent with you on what I got for my GPA and all that stuff. Okay, so the first way that I got in was through my GPA, specifically the grades I got in my classes, which then go into my science GPA. So I have it right here. It's loading right now. So for my freshman fall, I believe I took Psych 101. I have it right here. Psych 101, Bio 191, which is like intro to bio and health professions. I took Math 115, which is college algebra. And then I took political science. So basically my fall 2018, I got all B's mostly. I got an A in my lecture for biology, and then I got a B+ in my lab, B+ in psychology. So, you know, my grades were okay, but I never let my grades get below a C. For that section, fall 2018, I got a 3.2 GPA, which is not terrible, but it's not competitive. For spring 2019, I got a 3.489 GPA, which made my cumulative 3.368. So it did go up. I was taking more classes that I guess I enjoy, because I actually picked those classes. You know, when it's your first year, you don't really choose. And then over the summer, I got a 3.368 again, because I took chemistry at a different school. So I'm gonna talk about that too. And then for my fall 2019, I got a 3.28. And then my spring, you know, it's now, so hopefully I get like a 3.5 or something. I'm trying to shoot higher, but that's my GPA. Again, If you're not that strong in your classes, but you're a better test taker, it's okay. You can work to your advantage. So one tip that I would give you, which is my first tip, the GPA, your grades, make sure that you are studying as hard as you can and not falling below a B. That's all I can say. You can't get below a B minus, all right, in any of your required classes, specifically your science classes, if you want to be a nursing major, just because you want to show that, you know, you understand the material and that you're competitive, but you know, it'll show consistency as well. So if you were struggling in one class, got a B plus, next class A minus, next class B plus, next class B, you know, you're that type of student. They see a consistency throughout your GPA. So that is something that you should make sure you continue to watch and continue to focus on, because your GPA is very important in determining whether or not you get into the program. So tip number 2, which I did not realize was such an asset until I did it, was plan out my classes, you know, based on how the exam was. So, you know, the exam, which is the TEAS exam, it's a mixture of math, science, English, and I believe reading. So what I did was I looked at the TEAS exam, and everyone kept telling me, you know, AP2 is on there, AP2 is on there, AP2 and it's on there. So what I did was I scheduled my classes based on what was going to be on that exam so I could be prepared for when I took the TEAS. So my first semester at college, I took biology. You know, biology is on there. I already took AP Bio in high school. Shout out to Mr. Martin. But it was a breeze for me. I understood biology. I know the cell. I know bacterial cells. I know everything in terms of biology, basic biology. And then I took human anatomy and physiology my freshman year, which I thought was a mistake, right? I was looking back and I was like, shouldn't I have done this? You know, and even my professor, not my professor, but my advisor, she was like, why'd you do this now? Like, you're the only freshman in an all junior class. Why are you in this class? And I told her I wanted to get ahead. You know, it's similar to biology. It's the same type of stuff, but you know, it has that physiology part. So I felt like I could handle it, right? I felt like I could handle it, right? I got a B plus in the lab and a B minus in the lecture. So it made me like B average in that class, which isn't terrible, but the fact that I survived that class as a freshman, me personally, I think it showed a lot to people that were choosing applicants. And then, again, this depends on the school, but if you're a Towson University pre-nursing student, do not take chemistry at Towson. If you need to go over the summer and go to that community college, back and forth, 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 back and forth. You need to go back and forth to community college over the summer, do it. I, you know, took it upon myself to go to a nursing advisor my freshman year, you know, instead of my FYE, and I said, you know, I'm a pre-nursing major. I want to know what to do because I want to graduate on time and I want to get all my classes done on time. And she saw my schedule, all that stuff. She was like, dang, like you really in here? I'm not even, you know, your advisor and stuff. And she told me herself not to take my chemistry class at my school because the teachers were horrible. The teachers were horrible and everyone was failing. Everyone was doing badly in the classes, dropping out, you know, trying to figure out how to change their major and stuff like that. So I immediately said, oh, so I'm not taking that here. I actually took it at a community college, not in my county, but a different county. And it was a breeze. It was really a breeze. And I'm grateful that I was able to do that and have that experience and get that accelerated class out the way. So if you want to make sure that you can be eligible and not overwork yourself, I would definitely say to do a over summer class just to make sure that you're still ahead of the game. Then after that, I took A&P2, and I mean, everyone says that's easier than A&P1, but it's really not. I did not mind the class. It wasn't as bad, but at the same time, it was heavy material, very heavy material, but I was able to survive that class, and I think I got like B's again, but you know, it's better than a C. At this point, everything's better than a C. Now, currently I'm taking microbiology, and that is the only science I'm taking. And now my schedule is even shorter because I took chemistry over the summer. So if you want to have a lighter schedule during the school year to make sure that you don't fall behind, I would definitely say doing that. If you know that you're not good in biology, maybe take it over the summer. If you know you're not good in a certain subject, make sure you're doing the right things to get into that program on time. Tip number 3, I'm gonna talk about my studying habits. So this sounds so bad. I don't want you to take this the wrong way or anything. Like, I'm not trying to gloat or like, I don't know, just make it sound something that is not. I don't study that much. I really don't study that much. I might study 30 minutes a day on a subject, you know, and that's it. But I would say you need to develop certain study habits that are unique to certain classes, if that makes sense. So for my A&P 1 and 2, I developed flashcards, and I did audiobooks basically, and I would exercise while reading to myself essentially what bones were what and what shapes they had, you know, where this was located in the brain, where this was located, you know, in the lower abdomen, where this was, you know, I talked about it in my ears, and I felt like that was really beneficial for me. But again, everyone has a different studying pattern. Personally, if you know you're not good in a subject, don't sit there and struggle. Like, find a partner, find someone that might be doing better than you or at the same level, you know, and study with them. Get a study group. I never was really in a study group. I only was in a study group like one semester, but what I did is I had my friends or my boyfriend just read me cards back because I know what I need in order to excel in a class. Another thing that I know is offered is going to office hours. Bruh, I'm telling you, I've never been to office hours. Like, I know that's bad, but I've only been to open labs just to like take pictures and like, you know, look at the bones or look at the body parts again, but I never go to office hours. And I know that's bad, but I would say if you need that help, just take it. But for me, what helped me the most was repetition, and with those classes, learning not to memorize, but learning to understand and to connect things, so it's easier for you to take those classes and understand, you know, the material. So when you're actually a nurse, you're not like, oh my God, where's your tibia? Is it in your arm? Like, no, sis, like, no, wrong limb. Tip number 4 is the T's. The T's. So like my 2 other tips before this, you gotta be strategic when taking the T's. All right, so I'm gonna show you the book that I used in order to study for the T's. This was the book right here. This is the book. I got this on Amazon, I want to say for $35, and I started studying, I want to say in September. I think September or October. And, you know, I wasn't studying so much. I probably was capping and like studied once a week. But I would study once a week for like 35 minutes. And when I had more free time, I would study every day for about 30 minutes to an hour. So how I went through this book, I don't know if you can see right here. This is my review cards right before the test. So don't look at my nails. Please don't look at my nails. But these are my review cards that I had. I would read them back to myself so I fully understood the material. And I'm gonna be real with you. The first time I took the T's exam, I got an 82. I was shook. I did not expect to get such a high grade, but these practice tests in here, the practice tests in here are the same exact thing as the exam. I'm telling you, they were on point with this book. But I took it the first time and got an 82, and then I took it again the second time. It was the same exam, and I got an 87. So, you know, I was lit. I was lit because I needed like an 86 or above to be very competitive for the program. Your girl got an 87. And I was just like, me? Is that right? You know? So the way I went about studying for the T's, I knew math. I know math. I kept, you know, doing the practice tests over and over. I got 96, 98, 94, you know, 90. I kept getting those like high 90s. But when it came to the English language usage, you see, I can't even say it. English language usage, I struggled a little bit. So I had to do some outside research, make sure that I, you know, understood what they were asking me to do. However, it had like the least amount of questions. So I would mainly focus on the science aspect and the English usage. And another thing about the T's, you barely need to know chemistry, sis. So if you want to do, you know what, over the summer, get it out the way, no one's gonna remember. You don't need chemistry. You need anatomy and physiology part 1, and you need anatomy and physiology part 2. You're already gonna remember the basics of biology, so you don't really need to review it. But you know, AMP 1 and 2 is all in that exam, and I'm so happy I took it the way I did, because it was a breeze for me. I actually am going to pull up my T scores so you know exactly how I did on the exam. All right, so now that I have it pulled up, I'm gonna show you exactly what my results were for my first exam and what my results were on the second exam. So my reading was 80.9%, my math was 93.8%, science was 78.7%, and English and language usage was 66.7%. So you know I'm basically illiterate. But it said that I scored an advanced score. However, I needed beyond advanced to get into the program because my GPA was mediocre. So after I finished taking my T's test, I looked on the website. And I looked at exactly what it told me I got wrong. It told me the concepts that I got wrong, where I needed to go back and spend more time. So I believe if you click it, or you try to see how to do better on your T's, you can do exactly what it tells you. And I think I printed it out and then just went back in the book. Now remember those numbers, right? My second exam, I got a 85.1 on my individual score for reading. I got a math grade of 93.8, which is the same exact math grade. And then for my science, I got an 80.9, and for my English language usage, I got an 87.5. We lit. We're lit. We're lit. We're beyond lit. We're excited. You know, I was like, yes, God is good. So my individual score overall was 87.3, and the national mean was 65.6. So, you know, it was lit. And my national personal, my national PR, which I think is personal record, is 87. So I guess I was in the 80s. Oh, percentile rank. My national percentile rank was in the 97th percentile, which means I was above 90% of the people that took the exam. So your girl was out here. Your girl was out here. I was out here. Again, you can probably study 4 months before you take the T's exam, but make sure that you're taking ANP2 specifically right before you take the exam, because majority of it was talking about osteoclast, osteoblast, you know, all this stuff involving the body, the heart, and just, you know, cardiogram, read this, blah, blah, blah. It was just all of that stuff. So make sure that you're taking ANP1 and ANP2 at least the same year that you're taking that exam. The last thing that got me into that program was balance. You know, I would have gotten in if I had no social life and I just focused on my grades, but I wanted to be an all-around, you know, a human being. I wanted to be a human being. I'm not saying don't study or, you know, be nonchalant with your grades, but you need to know when to have time for yourself, because it's not healthy if you're studying all day and you don't sleep. It's not healthy. There was times where I had an exam the next day, and that night, you know, I cut off at 12 a.m. If I'm not done studying by 12 a.m., it's finito. I'm going to bed, and then I'll study in the morning. So I always made sure that I took care of myself and my health first before I ran myself dry. And, you know, there was some days where I felt like, you know, this is not gonna work, I'm not gonna get in, you know, I'm not doing well in this class. But you need to persevere. You need to be your own hype man. You need to push yourself and have your friends push you as well, because it's tough. Like, literally everyone says it's just all about getting in, and once you get in, you're good. Like, you don't have to worry about nothing. They can't say, oh, psych, nah, we're not gonna let you in. No, I'm in. I signed it. You confirmed it. We're in, baby. I'm getting my stuff and my stethoscope and my nursing gear and all that stuff in my $2,000 books. So yes, I hope this was helpful in helping you guys figure out what you need to do to get into this program. Don't listen to what your advisors tell you. You know, listen to your gut, listen to me, and, you know, listen to people that are already in the program, because those are the people that have a testimony, because they're there already. They're there, and they're there to help. They're there to guide you, to help you get into that program as well. So, as you may know already, I'm going to be posting a lot more content talking about my nursing journey and becoming a registered nurse at my university. So please stay tuned if you're really interested in learning more about how to get into the nursing program, what the nursing program is like, because I'm going to be showing you guys all the details about it. Because now I'm officially a major instead of pre-nursing, pre-nursing, pre-this, pre-that. Like, I'm nursing, baby. We can only go up from here. We can only go up from here. So I hope that you guys watch my next video, and I'll see you guys soon.